All right, yeah. So a bunch of new news broke in the sporting world today. Three things I want to talk about. The other two are coming in different videos, but this is like easily the biggest one, which like just broke like 30 minutes ago, I think, or maybe an hour ago. I don't know. I was watching Undisputed when it came out, but pretty much, Shannon Sharp called Julio Jones when they like live when they were recording Undisputed. And by the way, I don't think Julio knew that they were live. But then Shannon Sharp, I'm not gonna play the clip because I don't know, like copyright issues, and this is my like second, third time recording it because I realized the actual clip audio wasn't playing, and I don't know how to work all that. But basically, Shannon Sharp called Julio Jones asking if he's coming to Dallas, and then because I think as you can see in the thumbnail, it says that like Julio Jones was seen wearing a Cowboy shirt amid the trade rumors. But Julio Jones said like he's out of Atlanta. He does not want to play in Atlanta anymore. And he also said he doesn't want to go to the Cowboys because he wants to win. So that leaves the question like what three team or what teams can he go to? And I've narrowed it down to like three possible teams that he can go to. So in my opinion, I think he can either go to the Tennessee Titans, the Arizona Cardinals, or the Buffalo Bills. And I'll explain why for all three of them. So Tennessee, I think, just makes the most sense. I don't know their like exact cap scenario, but I'm pretty sure they have enough cap to like trade for Julio, or like just shed some players, like deal some players to Atlanta in exchange for Julio Jones, and that should be an attractive destination for Julio Jones because they already have like one of the best running backs in the game in Derrick Henry. So imagine a attack with Derrick Henry and Ryan. Like Ryan Tannehill is a good quarterback, right? So imagine an attack with Ryan Tannehill throwing to Derrick or to Julio Jones, or rushing it to Derrick Henry when necessary. Like that is quite possibly like the most like most lethal attack you can, the most lethal like all around offensive attack you can have. Because like we've seen what Derrick Henry's capable of. He's like he reminds me of like prime Marshawn Lynch, and Julio Jones is also like an elite receiver. The other option I said, one of the other options I said was Arizona Cardinals. Um, DeAndre Hopkins. I can pull up the tweet real quick. Just give me a second. Yeah, so it turns out I was looking for it. He actually deleted the tweet, but here's a NBC, believe it's NBC. Yeah, like an NBC Sports Pro Football Talk article about it. So as you can see here, it says like Hopkins said on Twitter, somebody at the gym asked me for what I restructure my contract for Julio. He then added a gif of Neil Patrick Harris firing off a pair of thumbs up. So Nuke clearly wants wow, what's his name, Julio Jones at the clearly wants Julio Jones at the or on the Cardinals, right? The problem is like this says, like the cap doesn't really make sense because he's only making like 4.75 million in base salary. If he like if he restructures and then like spreads the remaining money, whatever, you can like all a bunch of like weird confusing cap stuff, but like pretty much the Cardinals need to work like a lot of cap magic in order to get Julio Jones. They have to like restructure Chandler Jones's contract, DJ Humphrey's contract, and Jordan Phillips' contract, which is like that's a lot of like a lot of variables you need to bring DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals. But anyways, like I think if or not, sorry, to bring Julio Jones to the Cardinals, but I think if Julio Jones somehow gets onto the Cardinals, I think that'd be really really good for the team. Like imagine like a imagine a wide receiving duo of DeAndre Hopkins and Julio Jones with Kyler Murray throwing to them. We saw like what that Kyler Murray DeAndre Hopkins combo could do in Arizona. With that like insane Hail Mary that Kyler Murray threw to DeAndre Hopkins to end the game. Like th- it's like a lot of good stuff can happen there. The only problem here is like cap, and then if we just scroll down a little, it says like they have a bunch of like wide receivers already. They have DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, AJ Green, and Rondale Moore. So I don't know if that's realistic, but like it's very possible. Then the last team I said was the Buffalo Bills. Again, I don't really know the Bills cap scenario that much, and like but I think like I think that would be a very wow, I'm blanking on the word, a very preferable place for Julio Jones to end up. Because again, like they have a really good offense and a really good defense. They are contenders. We saw last year that the Bills made it to the AFC Championship only to lose to like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, which is like they were they were the best team in the playoffs or in the league until like until pretty much up until the Super Bowl. Um, but yeah, I think like adding Julio Jones could be like that piece that they need to get over to like cross the bridge, make it to the Super Bowl. Because Josh Allen's a great quarterback. Stephon Diggs is a really good wide receiver too. So like again, like that a wide receiver core of Stephon Diggs and Julio Jones would be really really good in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, ignoring the whole the whole like gotcha journalism thing that Shannon tried to do on Julio, which I think is like that's a completely different story. But like just to go on that a little because I kind of want to talk about it. Like I would think I would think that you'd say like you're live on air right now, before trying to entrap before trying to like before asking Julio Jones something as big as like do you want to come to Dallas, especially amidst like all the trade rumors that are going on. But yeah, I mean, that's just something I was thinking of. Like, I don't know. This is like just doesn't make sense why you do that. It just feels like some type of like really bad gotcha journalism, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I mean, because that we found out that like Julio Jones is 100% not coming to 100% not coming back to Atlanta next year. So I mean, wherever I personally think he's either going to go to the Cardinals, Bills, or Titans because those are like the three contending teams which like actually kind of have space for him, like Cardinals not really, but again like DeAndre Hopkins really wants him there, so that's why I threw him in. But yeah, I mean, regardless of like where he ends up, we can guarantee that like Julio Jones is not going to be in Atlanta next year, so that's an end of an era. Julio Jones was like the Falcons best player for a while. But I think I don't know, either way, like no matter whoever, because I saw some people saying like Julio Jones or like the Falcons should have drafted Justin Fields because he was in their laps. Even if even if the Atlanta Falcons managed to draft like every single player in the first round, I think Julio was out of there. He was just like fed up with the ineptitude at that organization. Defense blowing like multiple like 20-point leads week in week out. Like didn't they blow a lead to think they blew a lead to like the Buccaneers or the Saints, and like the next week they blew a lead to the Bears, like all types of stuff like that. Like I think Julio Jones is 100% out, just a matter of where he's going, and I think any one of those three teams would be like very strong contenders for him. Yeah, thanks for watching.